वेट की क्या
Just wait for Mr. Mr. Himanshu and
अभी तो थे.
I will just wait for him to come online and then we will start. Just oh, okay. Good evening and everyone, and good day as per your time, your time zone. My name is Abhishek Chanda. I'm a professor of economics at Sharda University and also a student, a research scholar working towards his PhD in IIT. And I'll be your host for this meeting. And Major Manshu, who will join us shortly, will be the host as well. Today, we have gathered here upon the initiative of Mr. Rajiv Verma and to start the series of online events, online meetings, webinars upon India's independence. And so the first meeting here for today's meeting is to discuss a book, Partition, The Legacy of M.K. Gandhi by Mrs. Kamlesh Kapur, who is a historian. And uh, Mr. Gandhi remains a very controversial figure even after his work and his death in 48. So this we have the official history of Mr. Gandhi and is very laudatory. It does not criticize him in any way. It is some a part. We can say that a kind of deification of Mr. Gandhi has taken place, and so it is important to remember that as a person, as a human, he had his faults, his quirks, and his biases, and it is important for us to discuss the other side, the non-laudatory side of his legacy as well, because we have to live with it. And if there is negativity around his legacy, then we are the ones who have to endure it, and we are the ones who have to resolve it. So that is my understanding. That is my view of the entire of revising our history, uh, 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 at least in society, if not in our school books, but in people need to know what happened from both sides. And so we are here to discuss that legacy of Mr. Gandhi. Vanshu sir, would you like to say a few words before we start?
Abhishek ji, thank you so much. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah. First of all, thank you so much, Kamlesh ji, for gracing this occasion and your time to share your feedback, share your thoughts on an important topic, which is Gandhi, because Gandhi is not simply a name. Gandhi is an idea. And that idea, even today in 2022, continues to shape the powers that be. How important does that become for our future, for the civilization, is dependent on how factually we are correct. Stems from an individual, but the whole idea. And you captured brilliantly through a fact and research-based approach in your book, and that's what we are here to learn from you and socialize this idea among the audience that is here, and also socialize beyond this audience, because social media or media is a tool where these voices need to go out, have a critical side of the history which is available to us. So with that, warm welcome, Kamlesh, and appreciate what you've already done. And we want to make sure that now it starts socializing amongst the larger diaspora, which is willing to critique, willing to listen to the other side of the story as well. With that, over to you for your inaugural thoughts and comments on what Gandhi is, what have you done your research on in terms of the book, and then as we go through this meeting, we will be talking and sharing our thoughts and questions, which we will seek your feedback on. Over to you, Kamlesh.
Okay. Why? I don't know what I'm doing. Okay.
So, do you want to share your?
I know
we can
you
see your screen.
I
We
don't
can
know
see
what I did.
No problem. We can see your screen, and at the bottom, if you would like to.
I don't see anything. So I'm looking. What did I do?
If you have something to share on your PowerPoint, and
नहीं
we
जी,
can see your cursor moving.
ठहरिए कि क्या हो गया, हो क्या गया?
Just click on that PowerPoint in the bottom.
और PowerPoint
You can leave this, ma'am. Just click on the PowerPoint icon in the bar. Yeah, this one.
Yes. Yep.
Okay. All right. Okay. Now we are somewhere. Okay. Okay. Namaste to everybody who is listening. This is the book that I wrote, and it took about 20 years and research. As a historian, it is important for me not to go over his personal life or his personal views. I'm simply giving a narrative of historical impact of events that happened. So in the backdrop is the colonial period, and then I am talking about during that period, after 1857, the struggle for freedom really intensified. And when in 1915, when Mahatma Gandhi came from South Africa, and then what happened? He took over the stage, and how did he try to shape the events after that? So as a historian, we are not seeking a popular view, nor gain a popularity point, and we are not politically correct. So the events will show, the impact of the events will show, and his legacy as the next generation. We are into fourth generation of Indians at this time who are impacted by that. Okay. Now this is can I get rid of this thing a little bit? It's not coming so well. I can't read a historical narrative of approximately 100 plus years. So 1915 he came, and 2020. Now, why did I write it? What started actually in 2001 with a simple query. And as a historian, my query was, I'm based in America for almost 51 years, but I have been going to India almost every, 2 years, 3 years. And I was seeing that we were not any better off after freedom. Because I was there when the partition took place, and I have vivid memories of the Second World War also. So in which way did India gain any edging by getting so-called freedom, which personally now as I research, I find it was not even independence. It was transfer of power to the Congress party. So we are going to go over different aspects of it. So this was the query. what was the point of partition if we have more than 1.5 times the population of Muslims in India and also in Punjab? Why this whole nonsense came and impacted us? It was unnecessary. And we will see where are the policy goof-ups, where were the wrong decisions taken. So it is a book that talks date by date. On this date, this happened. This was the response of Mr. Gandhi. This was the response of the Congress Party. And then decade by decade, how everything escalated or became out of hand. So how is the next? So sources of this narrative, it is very important to know, because most of the people, when I was talking to friends and everybody, they thought I'm starting something, like a blasphemy, and it is sacrilege for me to talk about Mr. Gandhi, in any kind of negative form. You see, it is not negative or positive. It is what it was. So where did I get the sources? What are my sources of the narrative? It is Gandhi's own speeches. Actually, there is one huge chapter, Gandhi in his own words, and that is towards the end. I didn't want to influence the flow of the events before I clarified, before I gave his speeches. But of course, his speeches and writings are here and there in every decade and almost every day. So then his correspondence with the British, this was a resource which is now available and was not available some 20 years back, because the British government has declassified some of the correspondence that Gandhi had with viceroys, with Emory, with even with the British Prime Minister of that time. Various kind of dialogues. In those days, there are no phones. And in a way, we are lucky that there are letters and there are telegrams which were exchanged. So we have those, and I leaned on that. Then Gandhi and Jinnah, what happened between the two of them? Was it just a clash of personalities or clash of ideas, approach, plans? We will talk that. And then the dissenters. The dissenters were there. It was not everybody agreed with Gandhi that on such and such day he took this decision and it is 100% okay. There were so many people who were dissenting. And there was Gadar party, which was as old as even end of 19th century, and they were based in America and Canada and in Bengal mostly. They were there. Then there was Swaraj party, that was a dissenting, and then Jinnah himself was dissenter. So all of these documents, and this is the source of the book. So my own personal feelings come as an officer when I was there, and my own training and what I saw. But that feeling aside, it is mostly a historical narrative. And there is one thing which I want to mention, that before I started writing, I talked to several friends of mine, and without exception, everybody said, please don't do that. Why not? Why not bring the truth? What hit us and why we are not able to recover it from it? So the answer, one of the answer was that he was a very truthful person. This is a myth. So this book is Mythbuster. Then one person said, on the international platform, India it has Taj Mahal and Mahatma Gandhi. We have two things to boast about. And I was so surprised that is the kind of self-esteem you have, that there is nothing in India except those two names. So that was really very sad. That India is the oldest surviving civilization and culture. It was pan-Asian culture being diminished, eroded, and attacked from multiple angles, and from exploiting different fault lines. So we should know. And if these are the only two things India is to remember, then let's not remember that. Why not remember it for all the things that happened for the last I trace the history of India almost 15,000 BC from Holocene period. That's a separate book. It was published in 2010. So I took back history to such a long time when the rest of the world was living on a flat earth, did not know about all the continents and the oceans, and when there was no civilization in northern hemisphere, even southern hemisphere. So, and we are only talking about Mahatma Gandhi and Taj Mahal. So anyway, this is digressing a little bit. I really was facing a lot of kind of dissuasion effort that I should not be writing. But I was persistent. And also I had promised to my brother that this is one book I should be writing. And he was goading me. Unfortunately, he passed away before I could finish the book. And that is my remorse. I wrote it now in his, dedicated it to his memory. So when Gandhi arrived, his reputation as a non-violent person preceded him, and he was immediately raised on the pedestal of Mahatma. Now, this is not clear. Some people say it was Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. I disagree because he was only at that time 18 years old. And some people say it was Tagore who did that, which is more likely. And unfortunately, after becoming the Mahatma, the Congress party itself wanted him to do some social work and not be the leader of the struggle, freedom struggle. But then another misfortune happened, and Gokhale died. That left a vacuum. And then the Muslim League started getting a little bit of they started making waves to get special representations and special benefits and like that. Off and on that surfaced, but it was not like a separatist kind of movement as such. But from 1924 onwards, the sole representative for negotiations and making all the decisions, that was Gandhi. And that is what Congress did. Congress party made a resolution that from 1924 onwards, Gandhi will represent them in every roundtable conference or in every dialogue or on every platform. And he was almost a dictator. So watershed moments are the most important, contains most important events. And those are 1915 to 1930. So that period is very crucial because it laid down the direction of the freedom movement, where it was supposed to go and where it did not go. So the first section after colonial period is about this period, these 15 years. And what were the expectations of veteran freedom fighters from the British? They at that time did not ask for full freedom because India was not ready. And India had 560 other kingdoms And what are they thinking? What were they thinking? How they would react to full freedom? Nobody ever thought. So the maximum they wanted was that we should get dominion status, which is like Canada has the queen or the king was still the head of the state. We are part of the Commonwealth. And this way we will get the experience of administration, the geography of the country, where we are, how to rule. Now, all of these people, the militant groups, Gadar Party or the suffragists, they didn't even know the geography of India. Nehru did not know. Absolutely, I have proof, and I have given that. And Gandhi himself did not know about India as such. The concept is there, India, but not as Bharat with a very long history. And he had a very superficial knowledge about sacred literature and the meaningful events like Mahabharat and Ramayana. Those were not stories or epics. Those were epical events. And he had no idea. And whatever he read, it was like, tailored to the appeasement of Muslims. And that is a fundamental point that everyone has to remember. And how did that happen? Why was he always tilted towards taking every decision, keeping in mind, what are the Muslims going to think? What will be my image in the eyes of the Muslims? And here is the background which everybody knows. Ambedkar wrote also in so many words that when he was in South Africa, he made a statement, public platform. He made a statement against the Muslims. It was just one statement. So that night, some Pathans and some people living in South Africa, Muslims, when Kasturba was not inside the cabin, it was a small cottage. Those people came and they trashed him so badly, he was an inch away from dying. And from that day onwards, he was mortally afraid of the Muslims. And he admitted also, and we'll come to that. So all of these things is what the expectation of the veteran freedom fighters was, that we will get dominion status, we'll get more representation in the British the Viceroy's Council, and we will have some kind of self-run provincial states, which was a pretty good idea to gain experience and have the feel of freedom. What Gandhi wanted, nobody knows, because he changed his decision from one day to another. He did not make clearly cut decision whether he wanted full freedom or he wanted leniency from the British rulers, or he wanted them to give more role to the Indians in the participation in government. It was never clarified in the beginning. So then came Jallianwala Bagh. It was a jolt. It was a jolt in the sense that Gandhi himself goaded Indians and recruited them for the First World War to fight for the British. Why did he do that? He said right now they are our rulers, and we should not take advantage of their difficulty. It is our duty that we should be cooperating with them. So this is, and he thought the reward would be that they will be they will give us more freedoms. and more rights, more participation. That did not happen. Instead came the different kind of strict rules, Rowlatt Act, and curfews, and about which nobody knew. Jallianwala Bagh happened 24 hours before curfew was declared. How do the villagers who come to celebrate Vaisakhi to Jallianwala Bagh would know about that? They are simple people celebrating their harvest season. So that was another moment where he should have learned the lesson that we should be more positive and concrete in our goals. This is what we want, this is what is planned, this is what is the strategy. If we cannot do that, then we are just like headless chickens, this way moving, according to the events. And exactly that is what was happening all through. So after that, so mismatch between vision, plans, and expectations, obviously. So some groups wanted total freedom and Gadar, militant methods. And they said they can do it. And it was not just young blood like Bhagat Singh and people like that. They were people of his own contemporaries, like Lala Lajpat Rai. He was part of the Gadar party. And Bal Gangadhar Tilak was one of them. Similarly, there were many people from Bengal. One of them was Bipin Chandra Paul. In fact, the trio was known as Lal, Bal, Pal. And they wanted a more militant approach and concrete plans. What is the vision? What do you want? Mahatma Gandhi was a mixture, and he was flipping from one stand to another. Jinnah's stand was very clear. He was one of those clear-headed person, and I would say he was an Indian nationalist. He was opposing Gandhi on the point that we should accept dominion status, gain experience, and then from there we go on. But he said that there should be unification and we should not be leaning towards one communal group or another. Communalism has no place. That is what was his point of view. So then came the litmus test of Gandhi's capabilities and the diversion between Jinnah and other people. And that was 1920. When the war was over, there was an international treaty, and the entire Ottoman Empire, all the Muslim countries in the Middle East, they were freed from the Khalifa. Now, everybody was jubilant in the Middle East. People were happy that finally the Khalifa is done with and we are going to be more modern countries. But in India, two brothers thought otherwise. They decided that we should actually try to start the movement against Khalifas, removal of Khalifa. This was an international treaty. This should be remembered. And no one person could have undone an international treaty. But Gandhi, in his own soul and head, he thought that he should lead the movement to restore Khalifa, which was a very backward step. Muslims opposed. Jinnah opposed tremendously. Congress opposed it. But Gandhi was adamant. This movement was known as Khilafat movement, It happened in Malabar area. It is known as Mopla Rebellion. And Jinnah was very dismayed. He said that Turkey is celebrating, Khalifa was there. Why India has to do this here? He was not our Khalifa. These are Indian Muslims. He was not our Khalifa. Why are we doing Khilafat at all? And that also opposing the British and the international allies made no sense. And Gandhi said that, what can I do? I'm in the hands of Ali brothers. What is that? That he was so afraid that he was in the pocket of Ali's brother, and 365 million population had nothing to do with the, So Jinnah said that today Gandhi has given Arabian roots to Indian Muslims. This point is never highlighted, that this is the basis of the communal rift that we are facing till this day. Because the Muslims think that their aim is to have Ghazwa Hind, and they are the representative of the Khalifa, and we should have something like ISIS. So this is, one, I have highlighted this point in that first 15 years. So there is a lot of myths about Gandhi's sacrifices and his sufferings. And as I was researching, Gandhi was never lathi charged. Never. The followers were. Gandhi was arrested, never sent to Kalepani. No Congress person was sent to Kalepani. Nobody was made to do manual labor, which was called imprisonment with hard labor, like Savarkar and other people were. He made no sacrifice. His word was command, and everybody was like mystified. Mahatma said that. And Mahatma said that. So in the same period, there was a Congress annual session, Congress Party's annual session. And Jinnah came. He was a member of the Congress Party. He came to the podium and he said, Mr. Gandhi. And there was such an uproar in the attendees, participants. Everybody stood up, shouted him down. Why are you not addressing him as Mahatma? He said, for me, he is Gandhi. Mahatma, you have given a title. I am addressing him. Literally, the Congress people went on the stage and removed him. I am bringing these not known facts today so that people should understand things which are hiding and things which I needed to highlight to build his legacy even after his death, worse than before, in order to make the whole thing. So now there are three types of people. There are those who perpetrated the crime, those who were victims, and those who were mute onlookers, watching. And that is something which I was amazed. I think this is better now. The book reminds Indians about the role of citizens and one's duties and responsibilities. And the stark reality is, if you cannot fight for a change and you have a hang-down look, then you have to live with what you have, then learn to tolerate. If you are dhimis before, of the British as well as the Mughals and any other person, next door neighbor even, then so be it. Then you have no right to complain over a cup of tea, because you don't have the heart, the grit, the determination, and the courage to challenge the myths, burst them, face the reality. The reality is this. Most Indians, they think that, Sanatan Dharma ko kuch nahi hoga, Sanatan is Sanatan. Hinduओं को कुछ नहीं होगा. It is a long tradition of dharma. Nothing happened. It happened. And they said that nothing will happen to India. It will still continue as a country. No. There was a pan-Asian culture which extended from Russia all the way to Japan and what is now Indonesia and Malaysia, everywhere. It was a pan-Asian culture. Even today there are temples, dilapidated, and they had this cultural bond, whether it was leaning towards more Buddhism or towards more philosophy or different paths, but it was a very spread out culture. Now that culture is eroded even in India itself. Why it is eroded? And if we say that it is not, nothing will happen to India, it is happening. We lost half of the country after 1947. And we say that India will be still there. It won't. There are too many breaking India forces. Other people have discussed in great details. I'm just mentioning that we have enemies around, enemies inside, and we are living in a fool's paradise. That Mahatma gave us freedom and Gandhiism will help us get out of any dark corner. It's not going to happen. And we have to change our mindset. For me, for the last 10, 15 years, I feel that it is now or never moment. The nation is at risk, and it is the responsibility of Indians to get over their mental lethargy and challenge the secularism kind of nonsense and tolerance and non-violence, most impractical things. So the older generation has nothing to lose. What have I to lose? Whatever I lost already. More than that, I'm not losing now. It is only the young generation who has to develop some kind of psychological weapons, weapons of propaganda, new machinery to bring across their own point of view and fight back. And one can only fight in the light of history, not in living in a mythical world. So that is why history is important. It happened in 30s, it happened in 40s, it happened in 50s. In the 40s, Congress party was absolutely defeated, and not a single decision after 1943 was made with participation of the Congress party. Everything was done between Jinnah and the Viceroy and the cabinet Home Secretary in the British cabinet. So these are the stark facts. And these people were just signing on the dotted line, whether it is in Simla or it is somewhere else. And Gandhi himself knew that there will be a partition. He agreed to it also. And in 1938, he knew there will be partition and there is no way we can avoid it. And yet he did not want his own country that be prepared to move out and let us figure out if there is a partition, what is give and take. Ambedkar made a huge timeline that within these 3 years, this is going to happen. This is what we are going to do. This is what Jinnah is going to do. and he dismissed it. It is unilateral surrender to what the Britishers wanted and what Jinnah wanted, and you are just sitting there. So all of these things, they have to really come out. And I'm glad that I brought it out for the international, on the international podium. It is for people to know what happened and why and what now. So thinking as a research and evaluating the ground realities. That is the purpose of this book. Creating awareness about issues and dangers. Danger is, in the words of one of the great writers of a generation back, not quite, 20 years back, R.S. Sharma, Ram Sarup Sharma. He wrote down a book, and in that he said that one of these days, Hindus will be endangered species because everybody is converting and culture is eroded. And he says one day they will be endangered species and they will be in the zoo, endangered species. And after that, they will be extinct species and their carcass would be filled with busa, the hay, dried hay, and they will be in the museum. So there will be museum pieces. And underneath it will be written, extinct because did not know how to survive. This is almost, what he said. So I am creating awareness about the issues and the dangers, what is at stake. And if chore, you see, Hindus feel we are alone. Each one feels we are alone. Each group feels they are doing enough by themselves. There's no umbrella. All these new media, social media platforms and YouTube channels, they all are vying with each other, competing with each other, instead of working together. That teamwork has to come to exist. You see, there has to be some kind of umbrella. And I am reminded of a Punjabi, it is a common saying. I will say it in Punjabi, then I'll translate it. It says, Chor te lathi do jane, main te bapu kalle. Chor horane mari lathi, main te bapu thalle. It means that chor, the thief at all. The thief is alone, but with the stick, he becomes many. Horane. It becomes plural. So the thief with a lathi, with a stick, were there, and myself and my father were alone. Now these are two people, we were alone. He says when the thieves hit us, we were on the ground. So this is how Hindus are, that even two persons are thinking we are alone. And a person prepared with courage and militancy and zeal, he thinks we are many. So I changed it a little bit. I put down that chor te lathi dojane sare Hindu kalle. Chor horane mari lathi sare Hindu thalle. So this is the danger. It means that the thief and the stick are two persons, and the entire nation of Hindus, 80% of them, they are alone by themselves, each fending for, or not fending for himself. And when the thief with his lathi stick hit, everybody went down. This is the dangerous reality, and this is what we have to be prepared for. And this is the book about. Many Gandhians question why, when Gandhi died in 1948, why are we talking about it? His footprints are on the subsequent decades, and the analysis of this linkage is what makes this book different. Because most of the book is about his legacy. it is the first 300 pages are about the partition and what led to it and all that, and the flip-flops and Gandhi's foolishness and opportunities missed, and idiotic steps they took, thoughtless. But the linkage is what happened thereafter. Why he's still so relevant, so much on the surface. What has he done to the psyche of the Indians, Hindus, and that everything is for your little brothers, and little brothers being Muslims. And you have to really help them, please them, look after them. And that appeasement policy, that non-violence, that we alone have to be non-violent and be self-sacrificing. You see, this is unreal world. Let us not, let us cross that from the unreal to the real. Thank you very much. The book is too big in spite of my every effort to make it short. But I hope everybody will read and see the stark reality, where we are, where we should go. Thank you very much. Namaste. इसको बंद कर दे. Okay. Stop share. Now, Himankshi ji, it is your platform. And whatever questions people have, it will be good to answer.
Kamlesh ji, am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So first of all, thank you, Kamlesh ji, for walking us through. I'm pretty sure that there are some facts which are known to the audience and some hidden which are coming to fore because of your research, because of the book. One interesting point which I wanted to, which immediately caught my attention when you were speaking, how you said that the sufferings of Gandhi. And in the popular media, which is a medium of movies, we see Gandhi as a movie depicting that in salt satyagrah, Gandhi was taking the blow. At least in the movie, that is how it was shown. Now, I'm sure that you would have some pointers. How exactly are these visuals? How exactly is this narrative being driven and also shown in the movies? When you yourself said no jail term, no kala pani, no lathi charge, and so on, and I just cited a common example which is visible to millions of Indians and non-Indians.
Yeah, kala pani was not there for Gandhi. Savarkar went, many other people went. In fact, the number was over 20,000 in 20 years. But coming back to that Dandi March, it was salt satyagraha, in which they went to the ocean and to make salt. Gandhi was leading that, and nothing happened on that. That is where the movie was completely wrong. Gandhi was there leading the march, and the English people did not do anything. They let him take the water and make the salt and do whatever. After that, Gandhi said that now we should march to the salt factory, salt making factory in Dhara. And that is where everybody was supposed to gather. And Gandhi said that we are not going to be violent. We will simply go and boycott the factory. And that is when that announcement came, that very night at 4 o'clock, Gandhi was arrested. Gandhi did not participate. And that is when, in that march and boycott, as they were going towards the salt factory, that is when the lathi charge happened. And those people did not try to defend themselves, because Gandhi said that you don't even raise your hands to, save the blow, yourself from the blow. So this is the reality. The movie is a movie based on Louis Fisher's work. And there was another thing. Quite a few things were wrong, but one other thing, that when he passed away at his, when he was hit with the bullets, he said, "Hey Ram." He did not. He did not, because the shots were fired from point blank range. As he put the flowers down on his feet, he hit him in the stomach and in the heart. Gandhi collapsed. And there was absolutely no Hey Ram business. See? And that is why, when these things are mentioned in a trial of Godse, that trial itself was not open to public. Nobody was allowed to attend. There was no jury, no nothing. And he himself, if you read his Godse's book, may it please your honor, he has given some 140 reasons why he had to kill. And I will say that he did it much too late, because between 13th of January to 30th of January, a lot happened. India lost POK, and they gave, without any bargaining and leverage, the rest of the money, and that was a pure blackmail. His satyagraha were actually, a satyagraha, and not even agraha, duragraha. It is an obstinate child telling the mother, "I'm going to kill myself." And what will the mother say? As a mother, I have faced that situation. My son said, "I'm going to call the hotline, I'm going to kill myself." You tell me, how do you want to kill yourself? I'll give you the substance, the knife, the rope, no, I'm sorry. So this is how he blackmailed. These were satyagrahas, and you can read his own books. There are 90 volumes of his own writings. And when you say that he's a truthful, that's not true either. He was experimenting. He was experimenting with truth. And experiment was never over. Same way. Okay, sorry.
Thank you. No, thank you so much. I'll just add one more observation / question, and I see a few hands being raised. So we will have to take those questions as well. Gandhi post-independence has been an instrument to many in power, or to perpetuate the power. But before the independence, when he arrived on the scene, I'm sure that there must be some forces which possibly inimical to India's interest, or to perpetuate their rule. It could be British, could be Muslim League, could be other forces, which you can bring it out to us. How did Gandhi come into this forefront? What was the driving factor? What were those major driving factors which led him outside of Gopal Krishna Gokhale's, you said, Gokhale's death? He probably used one of those incidences, but I'm sure that there would be other forces which would be propelling him to take the center stage. What were those forces?
Number one force was Gokhale's death, of course. Number two was that Gadar party, many of the people were killed. This Khudiram Bose and many people, they were killed. Savarkar and many of them were removed. So there was a vacuum. And then there was this Gokhale, not Gokhale, Tilak. He died in 1923. So the leaders are dead. And Jawaharlal was very young. Motilal was not a politician or a statesman, but he did believe in dominion status, and he did oppose him for 2 years, but he could not prevail. Because by the time Gandhi was so like on the pedestal because of the vacuum and because the British also encouraged him. Let this Mahatma fool around with the people and let us do what we have to do. So they allowed him to continue. That is why many people think that Gandhi was a stooge of the British. He was not a stooge, but at the same time, the British government played along. If he is doing satyagraha, let him do. If he is doing anshan, let him do. So what? In the meantime, they were really carving out India's destiny, that this goes there, independent kingdoms we will handle. There will be a federation of those independent kingdoms and they will be under us. You see, there is so much of machination in the background. And actually, there is a very good book I read cover to cover. That was Shadows of the Game. And that is about partition. And I mean, it finishes at partition.
Thank
So
you,
there were
Kamlesh
a
ji.
lot of forces. And sheer luck was also there in Gandhi's favor that there was a vacuum.
Sure. For the consistency of this invite, I've requested the questions be dropped in the chat so that we can take it over to Kamlesh ji and we can keep the conversation going. So request the other questions who would like to ask.
I have a follow-up question on this salt satyagraha. Did it have any impact on the finances of the British? Was salt tax really that important when the satyagraha was launched?
The salt was not as important, but salt was taxed. That is what triggered it. They put the tax on the salt, and Gandhi wanted to say that you are manufacturing it in the and taxing the Indians, and salt is one of the ingredient everybody uses. So it was salt satyagraha was actually another diversion. You know, he was such a cunning person. He would divert the attention of the people from one failure to another. What really happened was that Simon Commission was coming, and to resolve some of the political issues. There was roundtable conference, and he boycotted that. And then there was Simon Commission, and everybody participated in that except Gandhi. In that one, Lala Lajpat Rai died. He died by lathi charge, and the blow was fatal. And that is where Bhagat Singh came and avenged Lalaji's death. So the question itself is that these were, suddenly he would decide that now let us go in this direction, because he could not handle or explain that failure. He diverted the attention from Lalaji's death, who was a very famous, he is known as Punjab Kesari, Lion of Punjab, and from other people. Let us go. Otherwise, it was a minor thing, they were raising taxes on everything. It was not just salt. I mean, salt is 1 penny least of the problem. And making it a national issue was meaningless. But then there are plenty of, decade by decade, day by day, plenty of, let us do that. And even for Mopla, this is extremely important point, that the Congress itself said that our fight is with the British for freedom. We are not fighting for Khalifa or anybody. You see, we are not fighting for the rights of Arabian Muslims. We are fighting for our freedom. And Mahatma Gandhi said, freedom can wait, this cannot. Now let us see, I mean, where are we going? In fact, the entire 30 years, people were just taken aback. Where are we going? So directionless, clueless. And we still continue to be clueless. Okay. Next question, anybody?
So we have a comment in the chat that it seems that you want to dismantle Gandhi.
No. I don't want to dismantle anything. If I want to dismantle, I want to dismantle the Hindu psyche. Gandhi is history, the impact of history, his footprints. He created Gandhis by giving his name to Indira Gandhi to hide his her Muslim nikah. And that was untruthful. Staging a Vedic ceremony and giving his name on. You see, this was a kind of wrong. So he created Gandhis, and then he created the whole cult of Gandhians who will swear by Gandhi that no, Bapu said this. Who's Bapu? You see, when Gandhi was assassinated, I was in Delhi. And we fled from Punjab, not knowing what's going to happen to us. I was 9 years old, and suddenly the news came, and in the entire that lane, everybody came out of the houses. Gandhi, Bapu is dead. Bapu is killed. And one lady from Sialkot who had fled, almost I would say, not very literate or anything, she said, whose Bapu was that? He was Bapu of Muslims, let them mourn. He was never our Bapu. This is coming from the mouth of a person who is not an intellectual or anything, but who has faced the realities and seen him. And I still remember how she walked, and you see, those are a child's impressions. But the reaction of the people, of course, people fasted. The next day, everybody marched to the Rajghat and stuff. So,
Thank you. We don't have a comment or a question. I see one coming up. So Gandhi would, so the next comment that came was, or that has come up, Gandhi would have been jailed under POSCO or POXO, or prevention of, I think, as a child, I do not have the full definition, but for pedophilia. So the law against criminals against kids, right? Pedophilia. Do you believe, or do you have facts to substantiate that?
well, I did not write about this thing. And I should tell you one incident that in 1980, when that movie came, Gandhi, by Admiral, at that time, as I was walking in my own Punjabi clothes on a Manhattan street, some American approached me. I think he was Jewish. And he told me that, would you know anybody who can write a book on Mahatma Gandhi's sexual life? And he said that we will give you $250,000, the first installment, 50,000. And this is 1981, 82. I still remember the place. And I said, no. If I have to write, why would I write about this thing of which I do not know anything? Now, coming back to your question, yes, there is so much evidence. Had any law, modern laws applied to his life and his experiment of brahmacharya, he would have been in jail. And that is, I did not bring that in the book at all, because I'm only concerned with the socio-economic political impact and the psychological effect on the Hindu psyche, and why are they under siege, and the dangers. So it is a historical narrative His
Sure,
personal life, I could have written another 100 pages on that. But it happened. And Gandhi's own words are there. In fact, he was publishing his exploits at the age of 78, that I'm experimenting and I'm nearly succeeding, sleeping with a young girl. It is incest also. It is not just pornography, pedophile. It is incest, because one of them was his minor granddaughter, grandniece,
got it.
and
Um,
another one was his nephew's wife. So, let's not go there, because this is a whole different arena.
Okay. Thank you, Kamleshji. We've received one more comment, which is Gandhi has become an industry, and it is not easy to erase him from our Hindu psyche. With an example given, Khadi and Village Industries Commission. So everywhere we have the Gandhi as a name, as an identity being thrown at our institutions, at our symbols, whether it is the printing of the notes and so on. So do you have any comment in the contemporary world? How exactly do you see that getting probably replaced, or at least minimized, not replaced?
It is easy to erase already, because the British have declassified the documents. And if we get out of our mental lethargy, and instead of just reading, forwarded 2-line messages, who started, and he must be laughing that we are forwarding to millions of people. We should be reading books. That reading habit or serious thinking is not there. We accept. ठीक है. I used to go to India and different universities and on historical and philosophical subjects related to Hindu Dharma. And everywhere, after in casual conversation, they will shift, their focus will shift. Hame kya lena dena? And in one case I said, if you have nothing to do with it, I absolutely have nothing to do. What have I to do with it? Maybe I have a few years left, few days left. I'm already 83, 84. What have I to lose? I'm not even the citizen of India anymore. So it has everything to do with you, not with me. So that mentality you have to really, and Nehru was extremely happy when Gandhi died, because Gandhi was becoming an obstacle in unification of India. And his death achieved two purposes. One was that he could blame the Hindus forever. You killed Gandhi, you killed Gandhi. To give them that guilt complex, kill the Brahmins. On that very night, the day Gandhi died, 8,000 people were killed, mostly Hindus. And some of them were Savarkar's family. So, and this only came in the Washington Post the next day on 31st. And it did not come in any of the newspaper. It was total. So he achieved two purposes. He could hit all the Hindu organizations, ban them. He could propagate Muslim culture. Maulana Azad, whatever he says is, God's given truth. So he was really utilizing that. Gandhi Ashram, Gandhi Medical School, Gandhi Road, Gandhi Nagar, Gandhi Colony, and the whole 9 yards. This was for a purpose, to keep the Hindus under guilt complex. Killed a Mahatma.
Kamleshji, thank you again. There is one more aspect to Gandhi, which is the non-violence. And the comment that has come is Martin Luther King has been instrumental in utilizing the same concept. How effective is that to achieve the political goal? I think the question is in the contemporary world, or probably even then. So what is the relevance of this, or has it really weakened us as a society in general?
You see, we have to really dismantle the fact that non-violence is Rajya Dharma. You see, if Gita teaches anything, you see, in the battleground, when you are fighting for freedom, or you are fighting for a cause, or you are protesting, it is that is not when you desert and back out. So Rajya Dharma is not non-violence. Once it was experimented by Ashoka. After his death, his empire shrank to almost this much, because that is not a valid kind of approach. Rajya Dharma is only two things: secure borders and protect the country from lawlessness, restore order and law. This is all. All this nonsense of social reform, uplift of this group, that group, at the expense of this group, that is in auxiliary welfare schemes. Primary duty is protecting borders, integrity of the nation, and preventing lawlessness. Because if one law is broken, laws are broken. And India is an example. So it is very relevant that we dismiss this non-violence. And we come to the practical realities. Get a grip. Kshatriyas was not meant to, wave the white flag of non-violence. They had a duty. A mother has a duty to protect. And Gandhian truth will not work. If somebody comes at my door to harm my child, and I am overpowered, I am willing to lie 100 times to say that my child is not here. So that truth is not a van that is good for all situations. And truth is also, what you see and feel. I didn't see my son here. I am protecting. Now, Matri Dharma comes first, then truth. Similarly, Rajya Dharma comes, people should, all these administrators, I was in administration, we read Machiavelli and this philosopher and that political science book, and we never read Chanakya. And that's the only book which talks about satellite countries and what is the navel of the country, navel of power. So that is one book which is an eye-opener, Arthashastra.
We have a couple of people who have raised their hands. Mr. Manmohan Kumar, could you please? Mr. Kumar, you are mute.
He is mute.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
Yeah, so I have already asked the questions in chat section, but to add further to that, like some people believe that Gandhi was British agent,
Mhm. So I said no. I don't feel so. If he was, that evidence has not come to me. I would say that, because I'm going by evidence and his own writings. In fact, in one of his telegrams to the cabinet, home secretary in the cabinet during the Second World War, he said, if the last child in Britain and the last person in your sacred island dies in front of Hitler non-violently, that is worth everything. And Emery's answer was, has he become insane, or senile. That was his answer. So you can understand what he was and what he was not. But I don't want to really speculate. To me, it seems not. He was not a stooge. British supported him in one way or the another that he is a foolish man and he's leading the masses in 10 different directions, Harijan uplift and this reform or that reform. Our purpose is served. And they were negotiating merrily with Jinnah for carving out India and keeping their base in India. So
I have a follow-up question for that, but I will ask that later. Mr. Mahendra Pankhania also has raised his hands. Sir, if you would like to ask a question now.
Hello, Professor. Thank you very much for a very, I feel very sad actually for all the events. I'm a third generation Gujarati from East Africa living in UK now. So what's happened is that, what is the future of India now with the legacy that Gandhi has left of appeasement and so on? Why were our lands, ancient lands, given to the Muslims? No Christian, no Jewish person, no Sikh actually asked for land. Why is it that just the Muslims were given the land by the British, which didn't belong to them? And why were they allowed to stay behind? It makes me very, very sad and also angry now. I'm 64. I'm just beginning to glean a few facts, Professor, as to how we have been duped by this fake non-violence and so on, because the Muslims were completely violent. If Gandhi wasn't around, it's a hypothetical question. Could partition not have happened? Could we have achieved independence without partition of our country, our ancient land, which has now been destroyed by Pakistan? You know, our ancient 10,000-year-old temples have been used as urinals. You know, it saddens me a lot. I'll just leave it to the professor to give her esteemed opinion on this as to what the future of India now is, because we got the Muslims, they're increasing in population day and night. They are not our friends. They will never, ever become our friends. As I say, always say to my friends, it's a question of cobra, Kale Nag. It's not a question of whether the Kale Nag is going to bite or not. It's a question of when.
that's
And it's
true.
happening all over the world. It's happening in UK as well. The population is increasing because they want to establish a caliphate throughout the world. And this is happening, I can tell you as a witness here in UK. I've been here since 1968. And, you know, they go around wearing these burqas and so on. I happened to go to Tunisia 2 weeks ago, and they say, oh, it's not written in the Quran at all. It's only, it's a traditional thing and so on. I'm diverging, you know, basically, what is your opinion about the future of India with the Muslims remaining behind and being given our ancient lands for a song?
Your question is extremely relevant. In fact, I was thinking of writing my next project should be in the history of Punjab. You see, Punjab was a huge part of the subcontinent, starting from Iran border, Ilavati River, all the way to Delhi. Entire Himachal Pradesh, all of this area, that was Punjab. And Vedas were written there, Panini belonged there, Takshila University was there, Bhrigu was there, Vishwamitra was there. All of these, it was the seat of Vedic civilization. And look at this, the west side is completely barren. Muslims are devastated, there is nothing to say anything, no food even. And the east side, the Khalistanis have done it. So during these last 30 years of terrorism, I have made several visits into Punjab. And the terrorist acting, how they act with that kirpan, they can just swing like this heartlessly and kill. And these are the people, the Panth was started to protect Hindus, not to diminish them. So our own Rakshak, they have become our killers. I wanted to write that. I don't know if, God has given me enough life for that project, but it is on my mind. And if you really want to think, Modi is trying to, consolidate India. He is very guarded, and a little bit of my hesitancy or my doubt about his achievement, it would be that he does not take, to me as an administrator, at the right moment, if you are you willing to put the last nail. Shaheen Bagh happened. Why was the government non-violent? Isn't it their duty to provide law and order? That was the moment of putting president rule. In Bengal, BJP is wiped out after the election of, you see, and no president rule so far. Nehru used to use president rule every other day. Article 356, okay, let's do it. You see, and nobody even bothered. And here everybody is questioning. Should we not? You see, the violence in all the non-BJP states, West Bengal and in Punjab and in Maharashtra and in the South, you see, this can be avoided if you get rid of the mental Gandhi. Everybody is acting as if, this is what Gandhi expected us to do in every situation. And he is infallible. He himself assumed and pretended he is infallible. You see, no one is infallible. People make mistakes, and he made many. Let us correct them, not multiply.
Professor, if I may interject here, why was the name Gandhi given to Maimuna Khan, a fake name Indira Gandhi? Why was the fake name Pandit given to a Muslim who gave out invitations in Urdu because he was not a Hindu? And why is the current Gandhi fake name not been deleted and call him by his proper name? Because Rajiv converted to Catholicism when the spy Antonio Maino came in, and his name was Roberto, and the Gandhi name should not be there at all. Why are they not? If they're so brave, why are they not using their proper name, which is Khan?
Yeah, that was now those people, it should be eye-opener, this question, how truthful Gandhi was. In 1944, or a little before that, when Indira Gandhi got married, it was a nikah. And Pandit Nehru, when he came to know about it, he went to Gandhi. Even at that time, he knew he will be the first Prime Minister of India, and Indira Gandhi will be his descendant as Prime Minister. So he says, in India will never accept a Muslim woman. See, Nehru said that. It's a conversation recorded by someone, who wrote I think it was either K.M. Munshi or I don't want to say because the name is hazy in my mind. So he said that, what will we do? He says, you know what? You start a Vedic ceremony, which was an eye wash. Pandit Bulao, And then he said that I will give my name. And then somebody came with a beautiful idea, a stupid idea, that, Rose Gandhi was not Khan. Actually, his mother was Parsi. Granted, even if we accept that his mother was Parsi, in Parsi religion, a woman, when she marries a non-Parsi, she cannot remain a Parsi.
Absolutely true.
This is, I know a friend of mine, she is married to Roman Catholic. And I said that, why did you give up your beautiful religion? And she says, it is the Parsi law. That Parsi woman will accept the religion of the husband. Whereas Judeo-Christian law says that it will be the religion of the mother. You see, every fault lies if you come back. If I accept a fake God, the fault lies with me. You know, there is a very beautiful line in Shakespeare. The fault, dear Brutus, lies not with the stars. It lies with us because we are cowards. We are underlings. Actually, this is the line.
I'm on the meeting. Sorry.
So I am sorry to take you away, but this is a very pertinent line. The fault doesn't lie with he died, but are we getting rid of it?
So, Professor, can I just ask you, what is the future of India? Because so far as I'm concerned, it's a very stark choice between, do you wish India to prosper? We can only prosper without the M factor. Can it be possible to eliminate those M and do an exchange of population, which should have happened at partition?
Not entirely. In the book, somewhere I have written, I think towards the end, supposing a truck which is carrying a haystack, you know, in India, the size of the truck is this, and the truck is like mountain high. It tilts, right? And all the haystack is there. Can you salvage the entire haystack? No. You can always salvage the upper 4 layers, 5 layers, 6 layers. Then it is mixed with mud, and that is useless. It's not even good for fodder. So how far can we retrieve? No one can do that. We are all trying to find needles in the haystack, which were buried like, 70, 80, 100 years back. The best we can do is wake up and pick up the courage to fight the realities around us.
I personally believe that every Hindu, Sikh, and Buddhist family, all members of the Sanatana Dharma, should be well equipped. Do not rely on the police or the army or the navy or the air fighters. Every family should be well equipped with martial arts, with weapons and so on. But that's what the Muslims are doing. They are having weapons ready at one strike. They can kill a Hindu, slay a Hindu at any time. So I said we should be well prepared. Every Hindu family should be there to protect themselves and their women folk.
This is for the next generations. These kind of shoulds, they belong to them. You see, I can carry a weapon, but my hand is too weak. But my courage is there. If activism is the answer, I'm in front of the line. But then these kind of things, the generation which is facing has to come to grips with it. There are a lot of younger people who are getting involved in politics. They are highly qualified doctors and IIT people Modi is bringing. And they should get rid of the false notions and demystify. And that is why this book is there. I mean, it is frightening that, oh my God, this is such a big book, I'm going to read. But then don't read the whole. Read at least the relevant portions.
Can we get this on Amazon, Professor? On Amazon, how can we get a copy of your book?
You can get it from Amazon.
Yeah, it's available.
I have a few copies which I cannot send. It costs $5 to ship it within the United States, and it's impossible to handle. And I'm not a marketing person. All I can tell you is buy it from Amazon.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
They give you a good price. They will give you free shipping also.
Yeah.
If you buy the hardcover, they will give you free shipping. because above $30 they do that. And if I am around, somebody can get an autograph also, if that is so important.
So
All
thank
right.
you, Kamlesh ji. And we'll have to now wind up this call since we are at the 90 minutes mark. But one, thank you for sharing your time, the feedback. And again, the power of social media is to educate people through facts, because that can really shake up the young generation, to shake the notions which sometimes are fed or indoctrinated. So this definitely is very, very helpful. And with that, we wish your book very good success, and also long, healthy life to you, because we need the content coming in from you and the motivation coming in from you for all of us.
Thank you. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. And if ever you have any question, I can enlighten you. But do read parts of the book. And please do be active and realize the responsibility that we have issues, we have to solve them.
Absolutely.
And there is no
Thank
shoot.
you, and
And I'm not a professor, by the way. I was an officer in the Indian government service, among the first 20 women to win Central Services. But after coming here, I'm simply, activist and teacher and writer, and not a professor. Just to
thank you.
one bit.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.